This
with
conference will now be recorded.
Yes, I got I got the recordings. So Anita, she sent me all the recordings already, and
Okay.
yes, and so yeah, actually yesterday not yesterday actually, this morning I installed the Java 8 in my machine, in this laptop, and yes,
Okay.
and also I installed the Eclipse.
Okay.
Yes, and I was able to. I downloaded the latest version of Eclipse. I was able to this morning. I was able to actually to run some small program.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was
So
right. No issues.
yes. No, it's fine. It's good. I run actually. I run yesterday the one you sent to me. So I was able to run in Eclipse. Yes, I create one package, and I create two class, and
Okay.
yeah.
Then that,
So yes, sure, should be good. Yeah.
yes,
Mm.
then that will be great.
Yes, thank you. I just have one question. So because I remember actually before, I was because I was taking some performance engineering class. So actually, we installed Java during that time
Okay.
because for like a testing purpose. But I remember what we did. We need to configure after, let's say, after we downloaded the JDK and
Mm.
let's say JDK 8, we
Mm.
still need to configure, I think, in somewhere in the system. Yeah, like the Java home, I think, some variable.
Yes.
But but
In
in
it is not
but
required.
yes, but in this case, if we use Eclipse, we don't do that. We don't need to do that, right?
Yes. That's what I said you, Mike, yesterday. So in generally, when you run a program in a notepad, so what you need to do, you need to do a set. You need to set a path as well as class path you need to do, because to find where your Java program is writing, right? Java home you will be doing it. System dot in system property variables you will be doing it. But in case of Eclipse, what you do, what happens, whenever you download that JDK, and when you're downloading an Eclipse, it automatically finds that path, so it is automatically setting it.
Oh, okay. It
So
automatically. Okay.
yes, the path setting happens, but it happens automatically. It's not required you to do it manually.
Okay,
That's
that's
an
good. Mm.
that is an advantage of your IDs, right?
Yeah, that's more convenient. Yes, that's
Yes.
true. More
So you
convenient.
don't
Mm.
need to do any configuration. It will automatically start the things.
Sure.
So uh,
Mm.
yesterday, are you clear with the static things? What is a static? What is a
Yeah.
non-static thing?
Yes. And yeah, another thing. So when I installed Eclipse this morning, so I select because there are
So this is the
sorry, there are
version
yes.
Eclipse. So
Yeah. But there are some options like which because I selected the enterprise Java
yes,
developer one.
yes.
Yeah.
You will have an options like stand enterprise. I don't remember the options. There are a lot of options. So
Mm.
enterprise application, when you select, what happens? It comes with Java as well as J2EE. It's like a advanced Java. Whenever I just want to do servlet application, then I can able to do it.
Yeah.
It's
Because I select the enterprise one because what I remember the PE trainer told us like select this one
yes,
because it has more function, more features you
yes,
can use in like
yes,
in
yes.
Eclipse when you want, let's say when you want to develop a more advanced like a Java program, Java application.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yes. That's what I'm telling you. You can able to do that.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Mm. Okay. So, just what how to say? What's the advantage for the IntelliJ? That ID, it has more more features like compared to let's say compared to this like enterprise Java Eclipse.
I have used IntelliJ, but I don't find more features in the sense it is like what the thing is nothing but it's a paid version. And maybe, for example, the IntelliJ will be used in some projects where your Eclipse is not supported when there is a bulk of data. So it's like for some application, what happens is nothing but where they require many jars, many things. So like a huge when the load is more, your Eclipse will may hang, but that things find better in IntelliJ. So in my previous project also there are people who use Eclipse. So they are convenient with, they are okay with the Eclipse. It will have all the features, but what happens? It is getting some hanging, and it was very little slow because the application load is more. So whenever you your application load is more, that can be handled very easily in IntelliJ. The people say like that.
Oh, it's like when you have a huge Java program,
Yes, yes.
it's
It's not
better
like
to.
yes, yes. It's like when you have a server load. For example, when you do an application, you will not have only Java programs, right? You will have a lot of jars you need to download. You need to download it from the central repository. You have a Maven concepts also. So if the time permits, will have. So whenever you want to do an application, you want to do communicate with a database. So you need to communicate with the web services. So you need a lot of other dependencies. So whenever you add all that, your application load gets increased, and there your Eclipse may get hanging, or these problems may happen. So in that case, when you move to IntelliJ, the people will say this was not there.
It's more like more capable of handling like a huge of like a
Yes,
Java code, like a data,
yes,
or right?
yes, yes. You are exactly right, Mike.
Okay, I see. Okay, okay. And okay, thank you. And fundamental, basic question. Like a basic question, like because I think I understand, just to make sure. Like what is the meaning of compile? It's like
Sorry?
compare. What's the meaning of compile? Compile.
Compiler.
Yeah, compiler. Because like for example, the Eclipse, the compiler is to basically because in my understanding, like because let's say because we know Java is OOP language, like object oriented programming language, like more
Yes,
is a high, like currently is high advanced, like for
yes,
like C++. So I think the compiler, what it will do, it will when you let's say you write code in the Eclipse IDE, it will automatically, the Eclipse will help you to compile the like OOP Java, like advanced like programming language into the machine language, which is in the byte code, right? I think, and then we try and this compiler process will let the computer to understand what like your Java program is saying, and also and will be let it be able to execute, right? My understanding is correct?
yes, yes, Mike, exactly. Because this is the same points I've discussed in my demo session. If you watch the demo session, this is what I've discussed. Have you watched it, Mike? My demo session, which was there
Yes,
in
yes,
public.
yes, yes. Actually,
So,
before before I contacted Kuma, because actually by chance I found like this course in from Isha. Yeah, because
yes,
I think
yes,
this one is new. I got because I I subscribed sign up the YouTube channel. That's why I got
yes, yes,
like advertisement. So
yes.
I was because I was interested in Java, and I thought there is a chance. That's why I contacted Kuma.
Mm,
Yeah.
nice, nice.
Okay, okay,
So,
thank you. Yeah, I just want to
yes,
clarify some like very, I think it's some important fundamental questions. Like yeah.
yes, yes, Mike. So whatever you are saying is exactly right.
Okay,
So you
okay,
are,
thank you.
so your compiler is the one which makes your machine to understand the code. So in C, you have some turbo C, some compiler, which will be a platform dependent. That's what I've told you in the session. So for example, why you are saying it as a platform dependent. So for example, I wrote a code in a C language, and when you do compiling, what happens, it has to convert it to a machine language. And if you are writing that code in Windows, you need some particular compiler which will make that code to convert to the understandable format of Windows, because it will be always in the form of bytecode, right? And the same code cannot be, so the compiler will convert that printf or some code into ones or zeros. That same bytecode cannot be understood by another compiler, sorry, another platform. If you move to Linux, so again that Linux needs some other bytecode. It means some other compiler need to be there. So that's the reason it is a platform dependent, your C. In here in Java, it is not, because it is always with the JVM. JVM will be taking care of that. So it will always convert based on the operating system that you connect.
Okay.
So that as a platform independent.
So what you mean for the C language, it's if let's say if I want to run C in Linux environment, so I need a different compiler other than if I want to run C in Windows OS, right? But for Java there is no issue. Because the JVM will take care of it. It doesn't matter. You want to run Java in like Mac or in Mac or Linux or like Windows, right?
Yes, exactly, Mike. It's not required you to bother about the operating system. You'll not be changing the compiler. Your JVM will take care of that. So you just write the code, you run some anywhere, it will be understandable. So that's one of the major advantage. And you have a lot of reasons that why you have moved to Java, but this is
okay. Sorry, Suya, just could you give me 1 minute? I just get a cup of water and I will be back.
Yes. Carry on, Mike.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Hi. Yes, I'm back. Yes, thank you.
Yes. So, are you clear with yesterday this static and non-static things, right?
Yes.
So a small recap. So can I call static variable, or can I assign a static value by non-static by using object reference? Can I do that, Mike? Can I call a static method, or I can give a value to a static variable by object reference? Can I do that?
No, I don't think so.
No, you can. So you can do. It's vice versa.
We can. Oh.
Yes. So if you see, this is my static method, right? That's what we discussed. So if you see it will be what happens. It is not recommended. It is not suggested, but you can call your static methods, or you can able to give the value to a static variable by object reference. It means in a non-static way. So for example, if you see one is a with method, this is your static method. So if you see, this is my static method. So generally how your static methods has to be called, what we discussed yesterday, it should be called only by the class name.
Yeah, class loading.
Class name.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about not memory, how I can call that method. So how I'll
Oh,
call that method? I'll call that method by class name, right?
yeah.
So how I'll call the non-static method? By object reference.
Object. Yeah.
So by with this object reference, I'll call that non-static method. So my question is, can I able to call the static methods, in a non-static way? It means by using an object reference. Generally, how I need to call my M1 method? I need to call with addition.m1. So this is the way of generally the standard way of calling your static methods, because it's a static method. I need to call with the class name. But I can able to call with the object reference also, but it will store me the warning. It's like the static method M1 of the type addition should be accessed in a static way. So it should be accessed, it should be called in a static way, but you are trying to call in a non-static way. So it is not suggested, and it will show warning, but it is no error. No error, but warning. Sorry.
My question is like in let's say in a company, in a real company, yeah, for like for example, yeah, just an example. For example, like in Facebook, and they use Java when the developer there, they
Yes.
write code. They because I know like for current now like the process in because now most company are in the agile process, right? They're doing sprint, but like because there will be a code review, right? Peer review, like usually as a developer. Yeah. So because I know like because in my previous experience, like all like every developer when they have a new feature, they need a before they how to say before they release, they need to have a code review, right?
Yes.
My question is this kind of thing because it's not a good practice. I like my question is like this kind of code should be like revised, right? If let's say if like let's say I write this code, then I send you for review, and I mean for sure this kind of thing need to be revised, right? I mean
Yes.
in a like in a formal company.
Yes. Yes. Yes, Mike. Sure, this has to be done. That's what. So it was not a error, but this kind of code should not be there. You need to revise it by calling a static kit. Yes, exactly.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
And this vice versa can be achieved. What is the meaning? So cannot be achieved. So what is a? Can I call the non-static method by static way?
Non-static
Method.
method.
So correct. Can I call the static, the direct question, can I call the non-static method by class name?
No.
No, that's it.
Mm.
That's what, if you see, this is an error.
Mm.
So this add is nothing but my non-static method. So because there is no static keyword, and if I'm trying to call with the class name, it will show me there.
Mm.
So this is what we discussed yesterday. And your static members, I can able to so for example, I have one more sub method. I can able to call the non-static method from. Can I able to call the static method from here?
Call static method
You
from
can.
call static. Yes, you can, right?
You can do. So
Yeah.
from a non-static method, I can call a non-static method as well as a static method. If you see, I'm calling from sub, I'm calling which method? So what is your sub? Non-static method. So I'm
Method.
calling a static method. Similarly, I can able to call the non-static method also, right? So now from a static method, can I call the non-static method?
No.
It's like, can I call add method directly, or can I call
Yeah.
sub method?
From static, you cannot call, right? You cannot call
Yes,
call non-static. But
yes,
from
yes.
non-static method, you can call
The static.
static method. Okay.
Yes. The same way, from a non-static way, you can access the static things, but
Mm.
non-static require the object reference, right? The same, exactly, whatever the same concept. So this requires object reference. So I need an object reference to call this method. I cannot call this. From a static method, can I call a static method?
Yes, from static, you can call static method, right?
Obvious, right? Yes, you can call this one. Yes, you can call. So the points that we discussed is static member can
call static method.
accessed
Okay, access.
by
Okay.
static way
And we.
or non-static way.
Yeah.
But recommended is static way. Right? You don't need an example for this, right?
Yeah.
And a non-static method, non-static member must be accessed in non-static way. You are clear with this points, Mike?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
So a non-static member, I cannot call a so if there is a non-static method or a non-static variable, so a non-static method I can call only by having an object reference. It means in a non-static way. A non-static method I cannot able to call by static way. It means I cannot use the class name, but vice versa is fine. It means a static member can be accessed static way. It means class name as well as an object name. But
Yeah.
recommended object. Sorry, recommended is class. So these are the 2 points. You can see from a static method. Again, it's not required you to write all that. If you want, I'll write. From a static method, I can call static as well as non-static. Sorry, from a static method, I can call only static. I cannot call non-static without object reference. From a non-static, I can call static as well as non-static, and don't require an object. So these are the points. And your static member will be sharing the common memory of all the objects. So as I said you, it's a class is only one. For example, you have an addition only one class, but objects will not be only one. Objects will be many. I can able to create many objects. So this static and non-static I can able to explain with the employee concept. I think so. Meanwhile, I'll try to write this. It was little slow. And what I'm the point I'm telling you is nothing but a static member can be shared commonly among all the objects, but the non-static member is unique for every object. I'll make the justification for this statement by explaining you the concept, and I'll show you the I'll just debug and show you. My point is a static member will be common to all the objects, but a non-static static member will be unique, or I can say different for every object. I think I was going like that. It should come. A static member will be common to all the objects, but a non-static member will be unique or different for every object. A simple statement. So employee 23. I'm just taking this employee. So whenever so you understood a class may contain static members, non-static members. Members means it can be variable or a method. So assume that I'm trying to take two variables, int id, int cmp id. So I'm taking this as a static emp id. Without writing static, then if I take this, so can you tell me if in an organization you have hundreds of employees? So for all the hundreds of employees, so which one is different for every employee? Which will be unique one? Your employee ID will be unique or company
Yes,
ID
will be employee ID must be unique.
it will be different for all the things. But your
Yes.
company ID or the company name will be same for all the employees, right?
Yeah.
So then what I said then what you make as a static, whether you will make company as a company ID as a static or employee ID as a static, you should make
You should make a company ID as a static,
static
right?
because yes, that's
It's
because as I told you, your company ID will be unique to all the objects, but your employee ID will be different. So that is a non-static, the statement. So I'll just show with an example also. I'm just writing a method called display, which will display your company ID as well as employee IDs. So this is my non-static member. Even that will be different. So I'm printing my employee ID. And I'm printing my company ID. CMP ID is nothing but my company ID. This can be, I need to access with the class name. Yeah. Static. Sorry, CMPY. That's a mistake. So I was writing it as CMPY, sorry. And I have my main method I'm taking.
Main method then, yeah.
And I'm trying to create an object. So how I'll create a class name. So and EMP1. So I have a first employee and I'm creating an object, right? And I'm just assigning the value for this emp1.id. So emp id I'm assigning as something one. So what happens? Your employee objects gets created.
Yes.
Getting hanging sometimes. Don't know.
Mm.
Just a minute. Got hanged. Give me a minute. I'll get the charge.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Give me a minute, Mike.
Okay. Yeah.
You can able to hear me, right?
Yes.
So similarly, I'm trying to create, and before that, I'm trying to assign the company ID has. So I can able to assign by both ways. I can able to assign by the object reference, but I'm trying to assign it by this CMPID dot company ID. So I'm trying to assign that company ID as something. So it is interact. I'm taking it as 123. So 123 is my company ID. I'm creating one more object. So one more employee in my organization, and I'm giving the name as EMP2, and I'm giving the value as EMP2 dot ID, employee ID equals to 2. I'm printing the display method. So I'm just calling that display method. Here also I'm calling that display method. Dot display method. So can you tell me the output, Mike?
Yeah, please give me 1 second.
Mike?
Yeah, yes. Please give me 1 second.
Can you hear me?
Please. Yeah. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me, Suya? No? Hello? Some issue. Hello?
But I cannot able to hear you.
No? Now it's okay? Oh, I don't know what. Everything's good.
Yes.
Hello? Hello? Still not?
Can you hear me now, Suya? Hello? Hmm?
Hello? Hello? Speaker. Hello? 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 No? Hello? Hello? Yeah, I don't know. Hello? 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 Yeah, there are some issues. Can you hear me now? Hello? Why? What happened? Can you hear me? Hello? 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 Trouble. Master headset, ear speaker, headphone. This one? Hello? 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 Yeah. Hello? 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 Yeah, it's good. Why? You can hear me now? Hello? Hello? I cannot hear you now.